The Kindness Cure. How uplifting news can combat mean world syndrome. Feeling overwhelmed by the negativity in the news? You're not alone. A constant barrage of disturbing events can leave you feeling anxious, pessimistic, and with a distorted view of the world. This phenomenon has a name: mean world syndrome. It's a cognitive bias where exposure to violence and negativity leads to an inflated perception of the world's dangers. But there's good news, pun intended. Recent research suggests a powerful antidote focusing on positive stories. This blog explores the concept of mean world syndrome, its impact on our mental health, and how a healthy dose of kindness in our news consumption can help us build resilience and a more balanced perspective. Understanding mean world syndrome. How the media shapes our perception. Coined by communications professor George Gerbner in the 1970s, mean world syndrome stems from our exposure to violence-heavy media. Gerbner's Cultural Indicators Project, a pioneering study, found that frequent viewers of violent television were more likely to perceive the world as a dangerous place, even when crime rates were actually declining. This effect isn't limited to television anymore. The 24/7 news cycle, social media platforms, and even some online communities can amplify negativity. Sensationalized headlines, graphic visuals, and the constant stream of bad news create a skewed reality. We often see conflict and drama play out on our screens more readily than acts of everyday kindness. The consequences of mean world syndrome aren't trivial. They can include increased anxiety and fear. The constant exposure to threats, real or perceived, keeps our nervous system on high alert. Pessimism and cynicism. When negativity dominates our news intake, it can color our overall outlook on life. Social withdrawal. If we believe the world is a dangerous place, we might become less trusting and more hesitant to connect with others. A distorted sense of reality. Overexposure to negativity can make us overestimate the likelihood of bad things happening to us. The power of positivity. Kindness as a mental health booster. The good news from the British experiment is a testament to the power of positive stories. When participants exposed to violence narratives were later presented with stories of kindness, they reported a significant shift. Their mood improved, and their belief in humanity's goodness strengthened. This isn't just a one-time study. Numerous studies have shown the significant benefits of positive emotions on mental well-being. Positive news stories can boost our mood and happiness. Kindness triggers the release of feel-good hormones like oxytocin, leaving us feeling more optimistic and hopeful. Promote social connection. Learning about acts of kindness can inspire us to be kind ourselves and strengthen our trust in others. Increase resilience. Positive stories can counteract negativity bias and help us develop a more balanced view of the world. Reduce stress and anxiety. Shifting our focus from threats to acts of compassion can lower our stress levels and promote a sense of calmness. Cultivating a balanced media diet. Seeking kindness in the news. While staying informed is important, it's critical to cultivate a balanced media diet. Here are some tips to counter mean world syndrome. Be mindful of your news sources. Choose reputable outlets known for factual reporting and a focus on solutions, not just problems. Limit your exposure to negative news. Set a time limit for news consumption and actively seek out positive stories. Explore diverse content. Look for uplifting stories in local news, human interest pieces, or websites dedicated to positive news. Follow inspiring individuals and organizations. Social media platforms can be sources of negativity, but you can also curate them to find positive influences, such as activists, artists, and everyday heroes. Seek out stories of kindness in your own life. Pay attention to the everyday acts of compassion happening around you: a neighbor helping another, a stranger offering a kind word, or a random act of generosity. By actively seeking out positive stories, we can counteract the negativity bias and cultivate a more realistic and hopeful view of the world. Remember, the news only presents a fragment of reality. The world is filled with acts of kindness, compassion, and generosity that often go unreported. The ripple effect, from kindness consumption to action. Focusing on positive stories isn't just about feeling good, it can inspire us to create a better world. Here's how. Kindness is contagious. When we learn about acts of compassion, it motivates us to be kind ourselves. Empowering others. Positive stories can spark the desire to make a difference, inspiring us to volunteer.